Oh boy, it's time for the July news recap. This is my co-anchor in the newsroom, Cora. Uh, it's technically August. I didn't get this one out before the end of July, but that was on purpose because Gen Con Online is happening, I guess, right now. But I'm pretty sure all the Star Wars news is done, so I can record this. So I just delayed it by a few days because I didn't want to miss anything big. Let's start with video games. Get this stuff out of the way because tabletop is kind of where the big news is for July. Get out of here. EA Game Changers got some hands-on time with Squadrons, so there's actually a lot of gameplay video and impressions and details floating around there from all those cool YouTubers who EA lets play their stuff. Some of the new details that came out that I found most interesting is that the game does actually have a HUD. Unlike when it first came out, we thought it was only like in-game or in-universe type what you see on your screen. There is an option to turn it off for super immersive mode, but the game does have a HUD. Fleet battles will have like the kind of the main game mode there. The fleet battles is going to have a ranked matchmaking option for those of us who want to play against people of like skill and try and climb up the ranks and get good. On the kind of the other end of the spectrum, fleet battles will also have an option to play by yourself or with friends just against AI ships, which I think is cool because some people don't want to be super competitive and just want to be more casual, and that's awesome. There's a lot of new Squadron stuff out there, just kind of little things that people got with hands-on, like the customization options you can get for your ships and things. It's cool. Everything I talk about will have a link in the description for where you can get more information, because this is a roundup. I can't break everything down or this video would be 5 hours long. The Old Republic, that game that I played for like 2 months. The Old Republic's on Steam now, which is cool. A lot of games are moving to Steam. A lot of EA games, a lot of Xbox games. They've all given in. They're going to Steam. Old Republic's on Steam. If that somehow was the limiting factor in you playing it, now you can play it. We got another big look at the upcoming VR experience from ILM Labs called Tales from Galaxy's Edge. More kind of like on the story. There was a big article on Entertainment Weekly about the story, some of the cast. So you play as a mechanic who crash lands on Batuu, and you've got some run-ins with the Guavian Death Gang, the red guys from Force Awakens. The leader's voiced by Deborah Wilson. She played Seer in Jedi Fallen Order. Bobby Moynihan, he's on Saturday Night Live. He was on Star Wars Resistance. He's also in the cast. He plays a bartender. There's the game actually looks really good. There's a lot of concept art in the article, and it actually looks more appealing to me than Vader Immortal did. So maybe one day I'll actually have to get a VR thing. Who knows? But I'll be keeping my eye on it. But that's all the video game stuff. We're done. We're moving on. We're talking about tabletop. Gen Con Online happened, and Fantasy Flight had some big new products announcements for X-Wing, Legion, and Armada. I'm personally super disappointed we didn't get any news for an Outer Rim expansion or word about the alleged Star Wars card game that they're working on, but whatever. Also, there's no RPG news. Edge, which is the studio that's now in charge of all Asmodee Group's RPGs, they said that reprints of Star Wars books will continue to be available. I'm not sure if that just means they'll sell what they've got or they'll continue reprinting stuff. I think they said basically as long as people will buy them, they'll keep getting them to us. So I don't think there'll be a shortage. Like they're going to keep reprinting the Star Wars stuff. When as far as new Star Wars stuff for the role-playing game, they couldn't talk about it, and we're like, sorry, I can't say anything, which sucks. Before we get into the Gen Con announcements, let's quickly look at some of the new images revealed for the Ops Star Wars Talisman game. They've just released a preview of kind of what the board and the pieces look like. The little stone busts look really cool. I kind of want to paint them to look like bronze or stone or something. Other non-Gen Con news, Padme and Cad Bane are now available. They came out in July. Fantasy Flight also dropped some preview articles for the BX Commando droids, Clan Ren, and the ARC Troopers. So go read those. We got more important, more big stuff to talk about, but those articles are online. I don't know why they're behind me. That's where Fantasy Flight's website is. Again, all the links will be in the description. All of those guys look super cool. Really cool sculpts. Clan Ren looks really fun. They've got Tristan Ren and Ursa Ren that you can run either as their own little duo alongside Sabine or in a big group with other generic Mandalorian guys. But we don't have time to talk about all that. If that's content you want from us to like do deep dives into these preview articles, let us know. Leave a comment because it's fun kind of analyzing these things and breaking them down. But that's not what the news roundup is here for. I'm here to give you the top level what happened in July. During Fantasy Flight's in-flight report, after a bunch of technical difficulties, and we determined that mentioning the word Keyforge
will crash your live stream.
But they announced new products for XWing, Legion, and Armada. The whole in-flight report is up on their YouTube page. Link up here. XWing, they announced the TIE Heavy expansion pack. That's the big chunky TIE fighter with the gun that we see in Solo for about half a second. And the Heralds of Hope Squadron pack, which is like an Aces pack for the Resistance that have ships with paint colors from Rise of Skywalker. They also announced the Eta-2 Actus expansion pack with a little hyperspace ring, another Jedi Starfighter. That's really exciting. The hyperspace ring is detachable too, and it comes with a hyperspace ring upgrade card, which will be usable on a couple of the other ships. A V-wing is coming out finally, a Tri-Fighter, and Jango Fett Slave 1, which all look very cool. A lot of cool crew and cards, and they went into way more detail on all of that because on the in-flight report they just kind of announced everything. And then for each game, they had their own stream, and those streams have been uploaded to YouTube. So again, here you can watch the full X-Wing breakdown where they look at the sculpts and the models and all the cards and explain what new mechanics are and that sort of thing. For Armada, they told us that Clone Wars were coming a long time ago, and they're finally like here to see. It even gets its own trailer. But there's a lot of new products for Armada coming out. In case anyone was worried that Armada was being ignored, there's got an upgrade card collection, a dial pack, the Separatist Alliance Fleet Starter, the Galactic Republic Fleet Starter, some Squadron pack for Separatist, some Squadron pack for Republic, and the starter things for the fleets. They come with movement tools and all that stuff. So if you don't own Armada, you can dive right in with this, and you don't need the core set, which is cool. Because if you're like, I only want to play Republic and not Rebels or Empire, that's an option now. And they did a stream breaking down all this stuff for Armada as well. If you want to check out the full in-depth look at this. And all of these new announced things, they all have preview articles as well that touch on some of the stuff they talk about in the videos and some other stuff. It's all very exciting and cool. Legion, finally. Legion, Anakin Skywalker got announced as a commander for the Republic. He's got some new funky things where his command cards are all permanent. You play his command card, they stay in play, and they give him some big buff, but also like a drawback. And if you can get all 3 of them out, he becomes like super powered. Like he just kind of levels up as you play, which is cool. But they also said on the stream that where they're discussing it and they're talking about sculpts, a lot of great talk about how they went in all these sculpts, because the sculpts for all these guys are so cool. I'm getting ahead of myself, but Anakin's got like 2 different torsos where he's like this or like this, and it's got 2 different faces where he's happy and he's angry, and everybody's got different sculpt options, and it's really fun. And I can't wait to assemble these guys. They also said Anakin costs 160 points. So does Maul, who they also announced. Maul comes with these little probe droid guys who can hand out these new tokens called observation tokens that they didn't go into too much, but they said it was kind of a way for a unit to control the battlefield from kind of a distance. Other special thing about Maul, he rolls 8 dice when he attacks. That's a lot. He has 2 1-pip cards. This guy is Speedy. He's an operative, not a commander. And he also has multiple sculpts. I think he's got 3 different ways where he'll hold his lightsaber in front of him, behind him, or 2 hands. He's got 2 different faces. One where he's smiling-ish, whatever Darth Maul does, and one where he's a little bit more constipated. They also announced personnel, so like specialist expansions for the Republic and Separatists. So now they all finally have their own generic commander, repair person, medical person, comms person. The Separatists don't have a comms person. They get a little probe droid of their own that can float around and kind of behave the way Maul's Sith probe droids do. The special thing about the clone medic and mechanic is they can actually shoot. All the ones we've had before have the non-combatant keyword, which means they can't actually, roll dice or help with attacks. The clone ones can. The trade-off for that is they can only heal one rather than two, like the other factions. And they all have such cool sculpts. The clone ones, they come with Phase 1 helmets, Phase 2 helmets, helmetless. The commander, you can have him like with the little Order 66 hologram in his hand, helmet under his arm. Put the backpack on, guys. You can have so many extra bits, unless you're crazy and try and magnetize all this stuff so you can swap them out whenever. The sculpting department is going nuts with this stuff, and it's awesome. So all of these as well, they talked about them on stream. They should be up on YouTube. This one was streamed on the Gen Con Twitch channel rather than Fantasy Flight, so maybe it'll take longer for them to get this video up. Maybe it'll be up by the time I edit this, and if it is, this part won't be kept in. I want to say that's it, but that's a lot. And again, all the links to all this stuff I've talked about are going to be in the description. If you want to talk about this stuff with me or other people, you should come to our Discord channel, because we're on there talking about Legion and Armada and X-Wing and all sorts of Squadrons. We're talking about that all day, every day on our Discord channel. So there's a link to that in the description. So if you just want to talk Star Wars games all the time, feel free to join us. There's a bunch of us on there who always have interesting things to say. Again, let us know if you need me to be more detailed with these news overviews, or if this is perfect. Like I said, I'm trying to just tell you everything that happened with kind of my favorite highlights, but there's obviously a lot more to dig into here, and that's why I'm leaving the links in the description. I'd love some feedback, because, I want to make videos that you want to watch. So thanks again for watching. If you liked this video, there's really nothing you can do about it except just like it in your heart. And hopefully I'll feel that through the Force. Please stay safe. Stay inside if you can. If you have to go outside, please wear a mask. Masks work, and they make you look cool and compassionate.